Well, good evening and welcome along to your live My Albion TV coverage from the PL2 this Friday night. Rob Page's Liverpool have made the trip south, and it brings to an end what has been a pretty busy week for some of these Albion players. The last PL2 game was on Monday, with the Albion managing a 1-1 draw away at Manchester United. And then a day later, Bjorn Hamburg's FA Youth Cup side overcame QPR in West London, and that has set up a trip to Sunderland in the 5th round next month. So a look at the teams for you this evening. We'll start with Brighton. 4 changes from the last league game on Monday. Freddie Simmons comes straight back in as captain after leading the FA Youth Cup side on Tuesday night as well. He is alongside of Noel Atom, coming back in from the start. And alongside of Mackley, they make up the back 3 this evening. Aidan West replaces Joe Belmont in the attacking 3. And Sebastian Jensen starts in goal. Belmont drops to the bench. As for the Reds, it is a big reshuffle from their last PL2 outing, 2-1 win against Leeds last weekend. So in come Davidson, Adekoya, Scanlon, Kelly, Figueroa and Kone Doherty. Well, I'm pleased to report that the rain has stopped. Well, it's certainly, if there are a few more specks in the air, it is just that. Earlier on, it was teeming down, and you can probably just about make out the glisten on the surface and the slick-looking surface. And Freddie Simmons comes over to do the coin toss alongside of his opposite number this evening, Kieran Morrison, Northern Ireland under-21. He scored in that 2-1 victory at home to Leeds last weekend. So too did Keirol Figueroa. And he is one to watch out for, the USA under-20 international. Figueroa has been involved in all 12 PL2 games this season, scoring 11 goals. So almost averaging a goal a game. I believe he also notched one up in the game before the Leeds victory. A 7-0 win against Arsenal earlier this month. Will Wright, who's not involved this evening, scored a hat-trick that night. And immediately it will be the visitors who will try to pen back the Seagulls here. Going in for that header is Carter Pinnington. Flick it on to Kone Doherty, one of those many changes to Rob Page's side tonight. This is Tasker, who's handed the captain's armband back to Freddie Simmons this evening. No change in his position though, he will be firmly a wing back tonight. This is Scanlon just waiting for the right movement in the Brighton area. Simmons with the half volley up towards West, leading the line of a front 3 tonight, alongside of Oriola on the right-hand side, and Shaw on the left is how it will be for the majority while those front 3 are on the pitch. Scanlon again just asking for some options, nothing immediate. Shaw goes over to apply the press. Ball threaded through there from Simmons. A neat first time offload that from Oriola. And Tasker is away again. Those two exchanging so well so far this season. Simmons again, less than 2 minutes on the clock, but already seeing a lot of the ball. The England under-18 international. Pretty much mirrored the career so far of Harry Howell, not involved tonight in terms of England youth international age groups. They've gone up at exactly the same time, seemingly. That was a good challenge in there from Yusuf Owusu. Just goes down under a bit of pressure. Doesn't get the decision. It was Owusu who gave away the free kick that led to the Manchester United opener on Monday afternoon. Unlucky not to win that one in the end, Shannon Ruth's side. It was a good comeback, but they're on the back foot here. That's flicked on there by Figueroa. Morrison across, back there is Mackley, and just about they're able to communicate in time with Jensen grabbing hold of it. Just barges into Mackley there, but they do enough. Jensen up to West. Another good cushioned first time touch, and that's allowed Oriola to feed it over to Tasker once more. Well, the Seagulls certainly edging the possession stats early on. This is Shane NT prodding it out towards Tasker. And a lot of that good possession has been on this near side the right. Tasker again, back into Mackley. The other wing back on the far side is Harry Mills. Hasn't seen too much of it just yet. Perhaps now he'll get first involvement. Gives it back to Noel Atom. Nice from Oriola. He's only missed a couple of PL2 games this season, scoring a couple as well. He's also got 3 goals in the Premier League International Cup, including one last week as the Seagulls bowed out. Dinamo Zagreb was their last action in the competition. 2-0 win, wasn't enough to take them through from the group stage. This is Kone Doherty, decides just to bring his midfielders into play. It's like nick off the referee there, but it hasn't really disrupted Liverpool too much. So Scanlon will send in the deep cross over Morrison, but on that far side, this is Davidson. Strong challenge in there from Atom. Liverpool getting away with that. Is that a penalty? The referee very quick to point to the spot. Wasn't far away at all. I have to say at first glance, it did look clumsy. I think it's Noel Atom there backtracking. Well, it's Atom with the first challenge. Then it looks to be Harry Mills, who just stumbles into the back there of Davidson. Pretty clear cut. And it will be the captain Morrison to take, up against Sebastian Jensen. His 4th PL2 appearance. Can he be the hero early on here? He can't. Sent the wrong way by the Liverpool skipper. Not the ideal start at all for Shannon Ruth's side. Against the run of play. It goes against the way that Jensen dived. Albion 0, Liverpool 1. Well, I imagine the instructions being barked on from this near side. You can hear plenty of encouragement because it's pretty much been exclusive possession for the Seagulls, and a few of those heads have dropped ever so slightly. There's obviously a very long way to go. Still just under 84 minutes of the game, plus added on time, the end of the first half and second half. Now they do try to fashion something over on that far side. Harry Mills denied by the challenge coming across, and Kofi Shaw was looking to get things going in quickly and trying to find an instant response, but this will be Mills to take this throw. Owusu closest to him. Simmons driving up as an option. Jensen hits that one long. Looking for Kofi Short in a battle there with Pinnington. Davidson on hand to help out. Only as far away as Owusu, just trying to bring that ball to deck. Atom hands it straight back to Davidson. And they're on their bike again here. Ball out towards Kone Doherty. Will that stay in play? It just drifts out. But again, the game plan from Rob Page's side, pretty evident. They don't mind the Seagulls having possession in their own half, looking pretty swift on the counter so far. NT joining his teammates at the back to provide an option, just tucking in. Continuing just to goad in the Liverpool attackers, and they have won it back on the edge of the area. This could be more danger for Shannon Ruth's side. Kone Doherty unable to find an immediate telling ball forward, and then the goal scorer and captain Morrison just miscontrols. Kofi Shaw needed back there now. Good pressing from the visitors so far. It does mean there are some gaps in the back. West gives chase. And the Liverpool keeper, Armin Peksi, able just to make the no-nonsense clearance above the stand on that far side. Mackley looking for Oriola, but West is able to nip in, hangs on to it for a minute, but commits the challenge against Kone Doherty, clutching his right ankle for a moment there. Well, plenty of incentive for the Seagulls, not only to turn that early disappointment on its head in this game, but also if they are able to find 3 points, they will leapfrog their visitors from Merseyside in the PL2 table, separated by 3 points. But Seagulls, before a ball was kicked, with the 1 goal superior goal difference. Oriola needed to come and win that one back. To his right, Tasker with the first time ball back into Mackley. Red shirts flood forward again. Hayden West, enough to find some kind of a ball back to Atom, and that is some collection there from Harry Mills. Brings it down immaculately. And then the distribution over to this near side isn't bad either. Tasker able to bring first NT and then Mackley into play. This is the captain with a lovely ball up towards Oriola. He will get there at the second time of asking and just runs into a bit of a cul-de-sac, but gets the free kick. Well, most of the game, in truth, has been played in Albion territory. A chance to change that now. All the defenders are up, most of the outfield players in the Liverpool half. It didn't last too long though. Ball with the outside of the boot is over towards Kone Doherty, and he's just invited to twist and move out towards this near wing, Liverpool's left. NT is on the scene quickly enough. Nice strength from him to overturn possession. And once again, Oriola is felled right in between the dugouts. Tasker up against Kone Doherty. Back to Mackley once again, and Jensen is an option. Once more, they don't mind Liverpool pressing on them. They're looking to open up the gaps and find the balls forward. On this occasion, they were forced into a slightly longer one than perhaps they wanted, as Tasker is just beaten to that one, and it's Scanlon who can shepherd it out and behind. So the centre-back's just ushered forward, which indicates that Armin Peksi likely to smash this one long, the Hungary under-21 international. This is his 9th PL2 appearance after arriving from Hungarian side Puskás in the summer. Shane NT, perhaps just thinking about catching Peksi off his goal line there. Somebody who's got history with that is on the bench for the Seagulls this evening. Tyler Silsby scored in the Sussex Senior Cup quarter-final at Bognor earlier this month, and he managed to catch the keeper off his line, chipping him from the centre circle. Lovely finish from Tyler Silsby. I wonder if we'll see any more of those antics a touch later on. Flicked on to himself there, and successfully by Figueroa. Eventually loses out though, and the Seagulls will start again with Jensen. Been with the club almost a year now, Sebastian Jensen. Did have 6 months without a club before that, and that was after leaving Liverpool's rivals Everton. Another ball pinged up by Liverpool, but Atom was aware of it. He's got Owusu inside of him, so too Kofi Shaw. Well, that's possession just handed back to Liverpool on a platter there. The Seagulls just remaining a touch too deep with the clock ticking towards a quarter of an hour played. Morrison up against Atom. This is very familiar to how they scored the first. Also driving in there was Pilling with the first time effort. Loops up and behind for the corner. Well, you could see the Seagulls just back off. They did not want a repeat performance that led to the penalty earlier on. And it's Morrison who will take the corner in towards the front post. Flicked on by Kone Doherty. Shane NT doesn't quite get the clearance right. Fortunately, it's miscued from a Brighton point of view. Kyle Kelly slashing at that one. So the Seagulls sticking to their guns, looking to open up the gaps where possible. Scanlon with a bit of space to drive into on this near side. Oriola trying to track back. Kone Doherty looking for the return into Scanlon. Mackley over from his right centre-back position to make sure. Referee felt as though came off a blue and white shirt last, so Liverpool get us underway again. Shane NT with the half volley clearance up towards halfway. And at the moment, it's just about gaining territory and up towards halfway so that they can try and push back the Liverpool defenders a touch. Scanlon again, just in front of one of the under-21 coaching staff from Liverpool, Jace Spearing, helping out Rob Page these days. Outside of the boot, in towards Noel Atom. Does well just to recover his balance, because for a moment it looked as though he might be stumbling to ground. No foul against the Seagulls, and here goes Morrison looking for two. Jensen with the save. And then loops onto the roof of the net. Well, that was a huge moment for Liverpool from point-blank range. Morrison looking to double his tally for the night. A good save low down that from Sebastian Jensen. Well, the Seagulls just need to flip the dynamic of this game at the moment. Unable to really get out. Another corner in towards the front post. Mackley away. It will return over to Morrison. First time ball goes into Pilling. A couple of blue and white shirts around him. NT and Shaw combined to try and pass their way out of trouble initially, and then Shaw with the rather hopeful ball down the line. Mills back there against Pilling. Quite often who's spearheading the front of the midfield three. Well, Liverpool lurking with intent again, trying to build the anxiety levels in the Brighton ranks at the back. Jensen trying to remain as measured as he can, just rolling it forward, Jason Steele-esque. Mackley, Kone Doherty in his face, sharpish. West had made the run. Shaw has now made the run down the line. Unable to apply any kind of touch onto that, so hoisted clear. Another exquisite touch from Oriola, but he just runs into trouble. And now Figueroa could be away. Maybe looking for the cutback here. Back heel finds a way into Laffy. Across it goes. Atom is there. And in the end, via Tasker, it's enough. Only for a moment, though. Adekoya trying to head it straight back into danger for the Seagulls, but they get the decision. This is where they've just got to move it around a bit quicker, with the intent of them moving the ball forward. Misplacing the passes. This time they get away with it, though, with Mills able to slot it back into Atom. The captain Simmons once more. Off the ball, Liverpool marshalling their men very well, and they've overturned possession again. Morrison. Making the run outside of him is Laffy. Instead, it's the low ball across in towards Pilling. More danger here for the Seagulls. But it's only 1-0. Dragged wide there by Figueroa. The Seagulls just hanging on in this game at the moment. They are capable of sticking the goals in pretty quickly back to back. As I say, the game before Leeds, they managed to hit 7 past Arsenal earlier this month. Seagulls know they'll have their chances. Just need to execute as they play out from the back a little bit better. Mackley looking towards West on this near side. Just some of the decision making, hurrying things at times, but then slowing it down too much when they don't need to. Still got plenty of time for it to click in. If you are just joining us here on My Albion TV Live, Seagulls trail Liverpool thanks to a Kieran Morrison penalty 5 minutes in. No real complaints from Mills, who just went into the back of Josh Davidson. And it has been the visitors who look the more likely to double their advantage in truth. Scanlon prepares to take this free kick and sends it long. Switching over to that far side, Morrison unable to bring the ball under his spell, so Jensen will just float one out towards Tasker, but Scanlon is there, was looking for Kone Doherty. Could work that from Tasker though to dig out a ball up towards West. Now Oriola will give chase, West helping out as well. Back to goal there is Kyle Kelly. This is where they can apply the press and try and pen their visitors back. Mackley thought about the quick throw in towards Owusu, but Owusu just stepping away now. No need for panic just yet, as Tasker is ushered a few yards back by tonight's fourth official. Oriola brought down there. Gets the decision. He's been making a nuisance of himself, Oriola. Hasn't had a number of opportunities to be played in over on that far side, but he's been diminutive when he can. Good close control at times as well, and he's won the Seagulls a free kick in a pretty good position here. Both Oriola and Shaw interested. So will it be the left boot of Oriola or the right of Kofi Shaw? Conversation continues, but it will be Oriola to swing that one in. Not a bad looking ball. NT's underneath this. Shaw goes to get involved as well, just juggling the ball around. Then over towards Owusu. Back to goal there is Atom, but Pexy's able to claim. First real time we'd seen Pexy called into action. Well, it was Figueroa who was just brought down as Pexy was looking to get his teammates surging forward. Referee seems as though he felt there was no advantage. I think he's going to bring this back for the free kick. So it looks as though we just have a timeout midway through this first half here. It looks as though it was Figueroa who was just caught as Liverpool were looking to break away. And so a chance then for Shannon Ruth and Mikey Moore to get his team together. Another viewing of the Harry Mills foul there on Josh Davidson. And it was the captain Morrison to coolly tuck it away and send Jensen the wrong way. And that may be the only goal, but it has been Liverpool the aggressors most of the game being played in the Brighton half. First real opportunity the Seagulls had to enter into the Liverpool area a few moments ago there. It did force Pexy into some evasive action, nothing more than that. So as we come towards the end of this breaking play, almost ready for this Liverpool free kick. A quick chance to remind you, of course, that this is the start of your Brighton and Hove Albion weekend. And tomorrow, back at the Amex, the Seagulls hosting Everton. So it was just off the ball there, just to bring you up to speed on what's happened there. Yusuf Owusu is no longer on the field of play. We had that stoppage just there, and Yusuf Owusu was given a straight red card by the referee Lewis Sando. It was an off-the-ball incident as Liverpool were flooding forward. Did see some of the Liverpool players indicate that perhaps there was an elbow involved, but wasn't immediately obvious. But what is obvious now, that the Seagulls are down to 10 men, so their task made even trickier for the majority of this one as we approach half an hour played. Could get worse here with Pilling unmarked. A good block in there from Simmons. But everybody forced to stay back now with Liverpool having that man advantage. This is Davidson. Clips that ball in towards the back post, and heading up there was Adekoya. Just flicks off his head last. This time Jensen elects to rifle one forward, and Shaw wasn't too far away, but you just feel as though that's added an extra layer of indecision at times from the Seagulls, trying to commit to the philosophy, but it's going to be made even more tricky against this lively Liverpool side. Been in the face of the Seagulls for this first half hour. Adekoya. Now to Kone Doherty. Pilling. Now the gap's starting to get bigger and bigger for Liverpool to take advantage of. Almost all the outfield players in Brighton territory. This is Pinnington over towards Davidson now. Captain playing it infield, and Davidson roaming from right to left. Pilling, he's got Kone Doherty to his left. Instead he tries to thread that one through to Figueroa. They'll get plenty more options like that to try and play it into the path of the USA under-20. And credit to the Seagulls, they are in the first instance trying to play it short from the back, and the long ball from Simmons has now worked out to West. What can Oriola produce here? It's poked out there by Scanlon. Now becomes very tricky for Shaw, West and Oriola to express themselves. It was already tricky before Owusu was sent off. Now even more of a mountain to climb for the three attackers. I imagine that Shaw and Oriola will have been ordered to stay a little bit deeper, leaving Aiden West as the lone striker. Not for the moment though, because they're committing a few forward on the hunt for an equaliser. Shane NT with the layoff there to Tasker. Does well to hurdle the first challenge, but then runs into a sea of red. Nice from NT to pick it up. West trying to just turn away from trouble, but looking good defensively as well here, Liverpool. Scanlon back into Pexi. Now Davidson. Adekoya invited forward. Over towards Kone Doherty. Down the line now to Scanlon with the first time ball across. Full stretch there, Simmons, and Tasker does well to keep the ball in play. NT just asking for some options from his teammates. Pilling afforded the time to trot up towards halfway, and this now is Kelly. Davidson now to Morrison, bending that one in towards the path there of Laffy. Unable to keep it in play. So Everton are welcomed at the Amex tomorrow afternoon, and then a day later on Sunday return to WSL action as the Seagulls take on the London City Lionesses for a midday kickoff. Tasker making the move in field of Oriola, able to chest it back in his path, but the return towards Oriola just invited in Adekoya, and even before Owusu was sent off, they were just winning those 50-50 duels by the Reds. Nice from Oriola. NT gives it back to Atom. They are still trying to press on and commit as many as they can when they get the opportunity, the Seagulls, but it does mean even more gaps emerging when Liverpool fly forward. Kone Doherty, Shane NT doesn't get the challenge right, but now Harry Mills can just burst forward, intercepting that one. Gets past two, almost three. It might lead to something dangerous here. This is Morrison. Back in position quickly though from Mills. Well, it just takes a nick in there from the referee. Doesn't put off Kyle Kelly too much though, as they continue their pursuit down the right hand side. Just a bit too much on it though for Davidson to keep him. Well, despite the plight of this first half, they are still in this game, the Seagulls. That's the most important thing. Just a goal disadvantage, down to 10. But the longer the game stays at just one goal, the more that Shannon Ruth's side will believe that perhaps they could just nick a point. If they do it late enough, maybe with a bit of momentum, that they could go on to win it. And in the context of the season as well, that point could be very important as it stands just above that cut-off for the end of season elimination playoffs. The top 16 go forward to those elimination playoffs, or a chunk of those top 16. So no doubt Shannon Ruth will be reminding him of that even a point here could be valuable if they can stay in the game. Kone Doherty with the ball across. And Jensen has kept them in the game. Straight at him. Needed catching. Second important save of the night from Jensen. This one a little bit simpler than the first. But if he was to have dropped that, all hell could have broken loose in the Albion area. Oriola trying to put the pressure there on Pinnington. Back to Pexi. Hasn't really been hurried all that much tonight, Pexi, but did almost allow in Tasker after the slightly hurried clearance over to this near side. Flag's gone up over on the far side now. Adams got Mills to his left, or Simmons now just peeling away slightly further right. Tasker knew the ball was drifting towards the sideline, maybe a bit quicker than he initially thought, so has to rush that clearance forward, and now just at a canter. It's Pinnington looking over to the far side with Morrison. Davidson to Adekoya. Once again, the Seagulls just slot into shape. Try and limit the damage with 6 minutes to go of the first 45. Nice work from Scanlon to get away there from Tasker. Back into Kone Doherty. Davidson allowed to turn. Now it's Laffey, Morrison. Ball across, and Jensen able to claim unopposed. Was looking for the quick offload there, but wasn't quite on, so we'll start from scratch here, Jensen. Tricky one for Davidson to deal with, but it may have a bit too much heat on that one for sure. Cutting a rather forlorn figure at time, Kofi Shaw's. Willing runner though, and does only take one ball like that, bouncing awkwardly for the Liverpool defenders to make the mistake. And all of a sudden, Seagulls right back in it. This is Tommy Pilling. Tasker read that one well. Bit of space here for West, who's just dropping in deep. Shaw's made the run to his right. Also joining in is Mackley. Tasker making the run on the right. Does bounce out of play on that far side. Simmons forced to lunge in at that one. Made sure, but it does mean that Liverpool have the ball at the back, and it's played over to Morrison. Totally gets that one wrong and miscues the strike towards goal. Figueroa in on Jensen, making sure he's waiting to the very last moment for any gaps at all that they can make the most of. It has led to that free kick. Well won that from Aidan West. He's doing well with the number 9 back on his shirt. Atom pings that ball out to Oriola. Just took his eyes off it at the wrong moment. Pinnington, just to his left there, Davidson. Good shape off the ball from the Seagulls. This is where they need to be alert and decisive defensively to try and win it back and avert the danger. Kone Doherty is a tricky customer though, bent towards that back post, off the head of Mills. As I said a bit earlier, just need to limit the damage here. We're a little over 2 minutes away from half time, and Seagulls will feel as though if they can get in at half time with it just at 1, then perhaps they can drag the game out in the second half and nick something on the break. They are, of course, more than capable, but they do not want to concede at this stage of the first half. Pretty much all of the outfield players in the Brighton danger zone here. And it goes again then from Morrison. Towering header in there from Mills. And another headed clearance from the Cyprus under-21 international. Laid off, was looking towards Morrison there, but Shaw is in the way. Clearance up towards Oriola to chase. Scanlon got there first. Wise use of the space from the visitors. Up to Laffy now, just straight offside there. So last minute of the first 45, we may well have a few minutes added on because of the Owusu incident. If you are just joining us here on My Albion TV Live, Liverpool's goal coming from the spot just after 5 minutes in, after man on the ball now, Josh Davidson, brought to ground by Harry Mills. Then about midway through the half, Yusuf Owusu rather, not Lloyd, given his marching orders as that ball is played over towards Morrison. They've looked dangerous on both flanks, have Liverpool. Another good delivery in there from Scanlon, who's looked good on his return from lengthy hamstring injury, making his return tonight. Scanlon, he's looked to live wire on this near side, the left. Jensen out towards this near wing. It's over the head of Oriola, but Aidan West thought about giving it everything. Knew it was going to bounce out of play, though. Short up to Davidson, now Pinnington with plenty of time to assess what's to his right and now left with Adekoya. Adekoya on the ball now, is making his PL2 debut tonight after leaving the Burnley Academy in November. The 19-year-old has looked adept as part of that back three tonight. Now is Tommy Pilling. He's only missed one PL2 game so far this season. He was one of those who got in on the act in that 7-0 win over Arsenal this month. Been with the club since 5 years old as Pilling. Scanlon again just was looking to lift that back towards Pilling, but it comes off Oriola. Here is Pilling once more. Now Pinnington. Down the line it goes for Laffy with the low ball in towards Figueroa. Atom at the front post, able to put it behind. Well, yet more defending to do for Shannon Ruth's side at the end of this first half. If they're going to nick anything from this game, they have to shut up shop here. Morrison again to deliver. Swung in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and West is able to watch that one behind. Well, on the most part, the Seagulls have been fairly resolute defensively. Couple of moments to forget though, first of all leading up to that penalty 5 minutes in. Harry Mills with the challenge, no real complaints about the decision. And then the incident that led to Yusuf Owusu being given his marching orders.
No one, it could be you. No one on the toes, on his toes. Stay in front. Get a corner.
Instructions from this near sider to try and manufacture a corner here for the Seagulls. Not going long with the throw in, it was towards Shaw. They almost get the corner. Might get even better here though. Just slashed at it there by Harry Mills. Knew he needed to try and hit it quickly. But perhaps just one more chance at the end of this first half for Liverpool to drive on. This is Figueroa up against Atom. Good combative defending there from Atom, and it's enough to wind down the clock to the end of this first half. A very tough first 45 minutes for Shannon Ruth's side, but they are still in it. At the break with just 10 men, the Seagulls, they trail Liverpool 1-0. We'll be back for the second half very shortly.
Knocks one of them, please, Joe. Will, pass the ball.
acceleration. If you pass through to Judge, just go. Yeah, like it should. Really aggressive with the acceleration. That's your focus. Oh, try and go two, Tyler. I know you're really good one. Yeah, oh, shot. Wait, all I'm saying, you're not my first and last time, one that I wear training. Yeah, big acceleration then, Jess, follow it. Stay. Stay for now. Stay, Jess. Big acceleration, yeah, nice, good. Big acceleration, hard on the D-cell. Hey! Kind of brilliant. Very active. That's why Mike makes me fast. Oh! What is he doing? God knows, God knows I'm here, bro. The ball's over there. You're taking the business from me, do it against me. Marcus, don't cry. I don't mind. Yeah. See, look, you can let two my foot. Move! T, come on. Come on, boys. Tidy. First up. Yeah, love it. That's the one. Press that next action. Yeah. To pass and impress. Pass and impress. Love it, Shawnee. Pass and impress. Yeah, get in, Jess. Yeah, love it. Here we go. And tie. Good on your spot. Bent legs. That round was fucking too. Oh, you haven't got any tissues for Mike. That's your level now. He's had to cry, bro. Kick in. Half-time shows. Oh, kick out. That's straight down there. Chops. Twist and drop. Twist and drop. Big kick screw. And out. Forward. Cool, little sets will circulate to start off with. Then when I say go, it's the sets. Start to circulate, let's go. Right foot. Circulate. We'll get past the okay. Circulate. Go. Clean with it. Love it, DK. Great play. Clean with it. Don't be doing the nice, boys, nice. Really good set and time. You want me to say it? Lunges street show. Drop into the side lunge, kick across. He's still got it. Good boys, working the other side. Let's start to circulate. Last one, boys. Last one, clean with it again. Circulate, DKT. Finish your beat after this. There isn't. I'll send them a picture. So you're doing something. Go, clean with it. Oh, you know, just a good defense. Yeah. Clean with it. Yeah, nice, mate. Clean with it. Lovely, Sean. Lovely, Jess. Horrible, Tyler. Get the buns out. Lovely, Shawnee. Love it, and tie. One more. Yes. Right. It's okay. Yes, bro. Not the beat. Mark, bend you and go. Yes, good. Just give me a big sprint across the field, please. Bring it in. When you go out to warm up, lads, make sure you get to 90% opening your legs, okay? You can do whatever you want now, next couple of minutes.
Well, welcome back to the second half of this My Albion TV live coverage in the PL2 tonight. If you are just joining us ahead of this second half, the headlines from the first 45. The Seagulls trail Liverpool by a goal to nil. The goal coming from the spot 6 minutes in. The Liverpool captain, Kieran Morrison, sending Jensen the wrong way. That's after Harry Mills brought down Josh Davidson on the right edge of the area. As you may have just seen there as well, substitution for the Seagulls with Jesse Middleton coming on in this second half, the 17-year-old. Coming in to perhaps shore up the middle of the park alongside of Shane NT. Of course, it was Yusuf Owusu midway through that first half who was given a straight red for violent conduct. So it is a pretty tough ask for Shannon Ruth's side to get something out of this tonight, but it is just a goal difference, so no doubt that will have been some of the messaging at the break. The longer they can keep it at 1-0, the more they will feel that they can snatch a goal and grab a point, which, as I say, could be important come the end of the season. Just hovering around that top 16 mark, and it is the top 16 that you need to be in the PL2 to qualify for the elimination playoffs. All of the top 16 clubs go straight into, in effect, a quarter-final. Oh, and just going down there again was Pilling, and there's a real melee there towards Morrison. Well, that's a big chance to make it too early on in this second half. Seagulls making a meal of it defensively, really. Get an opportunity to clear here with NT and Simmons over the ball, and then over the head of Mills, and just swiped over there by the Liverpool skipper. Simmons pings one up, looking towards Oriola, beaten to it by Adekoya. Now Davidson, providing the option for Morrison if it was needed, but Kelly is able to move from right to left. Not the best pass from him. And maybe just a chance here for Oriola, looking to pen back the Reds, and then finds a really good ball over to Tasker. This could turn out to be a really good opportunity. Mills, maybe he'll fancy a go here, but the ref spotted something. Good strike in the end there from Mills, but the whistle had gone comfortably before Mills let fly. That's a much better sign of intent, though, from the Seagulls at the start of this second half. Just survived that early scare a few moments ago with Morrison hitting it over. Chance again for Scanlon on that far side. Enjoyed plenty of possession in that first half. In fact, Liverpool, as you would imagine, really, with the extra man advantage for the second part of that first 45, bossing the possession stats, but equally the shots and shots on target. The Seagulls yet to register any shot at Armin Pexey's goal. Maybe that will change here. Pinnington, it is backtracking, but Shaw chasing that one down with a little bit more vigour than in the first half. NT inside to Middleton. NT again. Good combination between him and Middleton. Driving out left. Now Shaw. Mills a willing runner to his left, who he finds now. First time ball across, off the crossbar from Oriola. Still maybe another chance here. Oriola with the overhead kick. It's audacious from Nehemiah Oriola. Might just have been in an offside position. I think he has just straight offside. Real shame he wasn't to know that. Great build-up play from the Seagulls. First of all, it crashes off the crossbar from Oriola. He's got his head in hands for a moment. He is in an offside position. But how about that for an overhead kick? The best goal he'll never score. Pinnington looking out wide right is Morrison. Again, Davidson making the overlapping run. So Morrison just holds off. Morrison looking to turn provider. Fashion a clearance there, do the Seagulls, and Atom tries to help it on towards Shaw, trying to latch onto his own pass. Much better energy and urgency from the Brighton attackers early on in this second half. Oriola and Tasker just combining to drag down Scanlon there. Kone Doherty also making a nuisance of himself. Just got to keep his head there, though, Oriola. He's capable of moments of magic like the one we just witnessed. Yes, he was well offside because he'd still thinking about the chance just seconds before it where he saw his header crash against the crossbar. So more defending for the Seagulls to do. All well and good showing those attacking signs, but they need to be assured at the back. Tasker provides that resounding header clear. They'll have another go down that left-hand side though. This is Scanlon once more. Floats it towards the back post. Morrison is there, but Mills crucially gets there first. And then a firm challenge coming in from Kyle Kelly. Certainly firm but fair. Gets all ball there, does Kyle Kelly. Well, the opening 7 minutes in this second half will certainly have given Rob Page's side something to think about. Not going to go down quietly, this Seagulls side. And they had 11 men on the pitch on Monday, but they did still show a fair amount of resilience, as Shannon Ruth put it. Did also feel as though after the Kofi Shaw equaliser they deserved perhaps even more than just the point. And you just never know, if they can find a way back into this sometime soon, and then it could be one of the greatest comebacks for this Seagulls under-21 side. Middleton able to square it over now to Atom with a bit of space to trudge forward. Gets it back from Simmons. Just everything about the way that the Albion are knocking the ball around now is just with a little bit more impetus, a little bit more desire in their play, and it is starting to show. Liverpool just trying to keep their wits about them and manage the game effectively with that goal lead and man advantage. Sensibly off the ball, the Seagulls slot into shape. Morrison infield to Davidson. Just working it from side to side, trying to draw out those blue and white shirts. Now Laffy has made the run ahead of Morrison, but happy to scamper infield for a moment. Then leaves it for Davidson. He can whip one in from here towards the back post, and it needed that touch from Mackley. Ghosting in at the back post there was Pilling. So the right thing to do there defensively to put it behind for the corner. 9 minutes into this second half, more defensive work. And from the set pieces defensively, the Seagulls have looked pretty assured. So they'll look to continue that and keep their hopes alive of nicking a valuable PL2 point. Decent ball towards the back post, and rising highest is Adekoya. Both sets of players appealing for that one. Well, Atom bemoans his luck there, maybe just skimming off his head. And over the other side, Captain Morrison wanders over to take. This time they go low with the delivery. Simmons was aware, in the way with the block. Shaw out to confront Davidson and does enough to put off the right fullback. Well, maybe those Liverpool players just starting to question themselves a little bit more. Desperate to find that second goal. The longer it takes for them to find it, as I say, the more that belief and encouragement goes towards Shannon Ruth's players, as Figueroa was coming back from an offside position there, so Jensen can just roll it to his right with Freddie Simmons. Middleton just ahead of him. To his left now is Noel Latham, the former RB Leipzig defender. Looking down the channel towards Oriola. Almost bounces over the head of Pexi. Maybe Shaw can pick this up. Shaw looking to loop it over Pexi. Good awareness from Shaw, and you wouldn't put it past him. Form he's been in this season after signing from Bristol Rovers. He's got that in his locker. Pexi was just able to backpedal quickly enough. But more promising signs for the Seagulls. It's not all going the way of Liverpool, and you can perhaps hear sometimes the fury of Rob Page on this near dugout. Just down to the right and bottom off your screen. And he'll be calmed down if Liverpool can indeed find a second goal. It will just come as a real blow to Shannon Ruth's side if they can double their advantage. This is Kone Doherty trying to get the beating of Tasker. Kone Doherty unable to get past a combination of Tasker and then Middleton. Good defensive work from those two. Middleton able to drop in from the centre of midfield as the other option. The first half it was just the centre-backs really making the moves. And again, it is just giving Liverpool something different to think about in this second half. Went from going too slow from the short balls of the back to too hurried at times in that first half. They've had a better temperament in this second 45 so far, have Shannon Ruth's side. Simmons, all the outfield players now in Red's territory. Good first time ball out there towards Mills, collects it well and then moving infield, and Simmons joining in from the back. There goes Shaw. When he can, Simmons trying to act as a makeshift striker. Now Atom from the wing. Great effort on the volley from Oriola. Forces the save from Pexi. Took it so well. Great technique from Oriola. Not for the first time tonight. Excellent ball in from Atom. Either side of Pexi, and that's 1-1. Well, he has looked the most likely so far tonight, has Oriola. And that should breed confidence for him that he can go and get an equaliser and maybe, just maybe, a bit better with half an hour to go. Another unforced error from this Liverpool side.
Michael, remember it's not man to man. Stay as you are. You gotta be isolated in one way. They're trying to separate the gap in the middle. Stay as you are, you're fine.
Atom into Jensen. Up towards Oriola. Doesn't he do well to get there ahead of Adekoya? It was Adekoya who was late on Oriola, but they both clashed heads there. So before the referee awards what I would imagine would be a Seagulls free kick, the head injury protocol has to take place first, because he is clattered there, Oriola. Definitely gets there first. No malintent from Adekoya, just beaten to it by Oriola. So a creditable performance so far in this second half. Lots of belief, lots of energy and urgency from Shannon Ruth's side, not going out without a fight, far from it, with the game just separated by one goal, and good to see Aurelio back on his feet. This does just give us the chance to remind you of the remainder of your Brighton and Hove Albion weekender. Tomorrow at the Amex, Seagulls return to Premier League action, welcoming Everton to the Amex. And then on Sunday, the Seagulls taking on the London City Lionesses in the WSL. Next game for the Seagulls in the PL2 next weekend, same time, same place as tonight, against Sunderland, who are just hovering above the relegation playoff line at the moment. They play on Sunday against Leicester. So again, that might have been part of the half-time team talk. Nick a point here. That will certainly give them momentum with the man disadvantaged tonight. Feel more like 3 points, I'm sure, if they can pull it off, going into that Sunderland game. Full of beans. And Sunderland are also the opponents in the next round of the FA Youth Cup towards the end of next month. Seagulls securing their passage through to the fifth round for Bjorn Hamburg's side with a 2-0 win away at QPR on Tuesday night. Two of the players that night on the pitch again tonight. Jesse Middleton coming on at half-time and captain Freddie Simmons. So Oriola looks as though he's going to be reintroduced when the referee, Luis Sando, is ready. And there he goes, first action to win it straight back. Certainly the Seagulls player of the match tonight so far. And now he really fancies it, does Nehemiah Oriola. And so he should. Couple of goals so far this season, also has 3 in the Premier League International Cup. That includes 1 last week against Dinamo Zagreb in the 2-0 win. Also made his Premier League debut late on against Leeds earlier this season. Middleton with a bit of space, moving across the centre circle and picking out a neat ball to Mills, who helps that one on to Shane NT. Loads of blue and white shirts moving forward. Now Atom, when he can, trying to move forward on that left-hand side and break away from a more central position. Same too can be said of Mackley, right of a back three, but when they get the opportunity, because of the sending off, just trying to drive forward and act as a makeshift wing-back. That's wasteful from Liverpool. We've seen more and more of those errors creeping in. Surely that offers more encouragement to the Seagulls players. Mackley, now Tasker. Well, the first time it's been a bit loose from the Albion for some time. They have been the aggressors in this second half, trying to put the pressure back on their visitors from Merseyside. Kyle Kelly, though, will just try to calm the game down and slow things down with the ball out to Davidson. Now Morrison. Shaw just beaten to it there by Morrison. He's able to play it out now to Kone Doherty. Being jockeyed there by Tasker, and the ball in is only just wide of Jensen's post there. Looked as though Jensen had that one covered. Either way, That is only inches wide. Crucially though, just the one goal still in it with 25 minutes to go. Jensen just trying to goad in Figueroa. Not like in the first half, he's just happy to back off and allowing Jensen to edge forward within his area. Gets it back from Atom. Now Simmons just being allowed that space because of Middleton becoming another option. He was asked a bit much of that, was Middleton, ahead of his path, so Liverpool have it back. But look at Tasker nipping in there to put it behind for the corner. Everything about the Albion's performance in this second half has been much better. First change of the evening for the visitors. We'll see Scanlon replaced by Lucas Pitt.
Yeah, you stay where you are, yeah. Davo, Lucas will come in there now, you can push on the edge of the box. Go down a bit further, Lucas, you be ready, Armin.
So ready now for the corner from that far side. Again, it's a decent delivery. They've switched up the distribution from the corners pretty well, Liverpool. Front post and back post, but each time it's looked vicious. This time it's just over everybody in a red shirt and wide again, but certainly dangerous as those balls are whipped in. Davidson in now to Kelly. Just put their foot on the gas a little bit more here, the visitors, as they go in search of a second, just trying to address the energy that the Albion are throwing at them. Tasker a bit heavy-handed there on Davidson. Doesn't mind giving away the free kick if he's not going to get the yellow card. And it doesn't look as though Luis Sando will write his name down in the book. Happy to just let it go for a free kick. And now it's over to this near side with Morrison. So it looks as though a slight tweak to the fullback. Scanlon was at left back and Lucas Pitt naturally is a right fullback. So Davidson can go over to the left-hand side if he needs to. This now is Pinnington. Kelly. Picks up Morrison, looking for the ball into the channel. Nodded forward though by Atom and helped on by Shaw. No Brighton shirt close enough to that. So Pexy can get play started again for Pinnington. Striding into the Albion territory. Seagulls just trying to stay in shape and wait for the Liverpool error, or force the Liverpool error, as Mills will drive out into the face of Kieran Morrison. Now being invited forward is Pinnington. But again, too much on it. Morrison won't get there. And they get through that passage of play, do the Seagulls. Good work off the ball. NT. Dispossessed and put out of play by Michael Laffey. Mackley's got Middleton and Simmons inside of him every time, but is able to bring back Jensen into play. Same can be said of Atom. Looking wide over towards Tasker. Good strong header from him. He was trying to find Oriola. Right intent, just slightly off on the execution. Adekoya over to Pinnington. Again, dropping in deep is Kelly. Seagulls won't mind walking pace in this kind of an area. Middleton waiting for the right moment to spring in with the press. Davidson exchanges a pass there with Kone Doherty. More good tracking back there from Oriola. Put in one hell of a shift tonight, has Neymar Oriola. And going forward has looked really decent as well. Mills happy to renew that duel with Kieran Morrison. Morrison can play it into Pinnington. Just putting the onus on Liverpool here are the Seagulls. It is a low block, but it's being set up in such a way where it is really meaning that Liverpool have to find a proper moment of quality to unlock the Seagulls' defence. Morrison will try to do exactly that now. Tasker up against Kone Doherty. Certainly no foul there. Good defending initially, but Davidson, nipping at his heels, is able to get the free kick this time. Well, they're certainly getting the benefit of the defensive side of Charlie Tasker's game. These days does tend to play as a right midfielder or right winger, but did start out life in Shannon Ruth's side as a right back.
Nice and compact in the middle. Yes, guys, come on. Be alive, be ready. Drop down on Fred. Be ready.
So a bit of housekeeping here from Luis Sando, the referee, making sure Oriola and NT are far enough back, and then the conversation goes on between Morrison, Kone Doherty and Davidson on that far side as to who will send this one goalward. And it is Davidson low in, but doesn't get past Tasker. The Seagulls try to disperse quickly. Oriola into the face of the Liverpool defenders who had stayed up. Laffy, though, into Kane Doherty. This is a big chance here, but a big clearance from Noel Atom. No touch on that from Tasker. They can't profit there, can Liverpool? May have been a slight touch on that, so another corner from that far side. Weathering the storm again, the Seagulls, but keeping it at 1-0. Defended these corners so well. Can they do it again with a quarter of an hour to go? Just bounces wide. Has Mackley kept that in? I think he has, so they've gone one better than the corner. It's a throw-in on that far side. Not before we've had this substitution, though. And it's a double sub for the Seagulls. Tyler Silsby and Joe Belmont. And if you were watching in the first half, you will remember me mentioning about Tyler Silsby's audacious long-range effort in the quarter-final of the Sussex Senior Cup earlier this month. Maybe there could be another moment of magic from the 17-year-old. Kofi Shaw and Oriola are those to make way. And Joe Belmont, who started in the draw up at Carrington on Monday, will lead the line, full of running for the remaining quarter of an hour. Also for the visitors, Will Wright will come on for the remaining quarter of an hour, replacing K-Roll Figueroa. Will Wright, who started in the 2-1 win over Leeds. He was another who got on the score sheet in that 7-0 win over Arsenal earlier this month. 7 PL2 appearances now since his summer move from Salford. Middleton just barged off that by Kone Doherty. Kone Doherty not happy. Middleton needs to be careful not to be drawn into this. Referee just making sure he's able to allow himself the time to get, I think, Kone Doherty in the book there. Certainly Doherty that was the aggressor in the incident against Middleton. That's another way back into this one. If they can just keep their heads, the Seagulls, and start to frustrate the Reds, again, the chances start to go in their favour. Jensen outside of his area. We haven't seen that too much tonight, but the ball isn't good enough to his right. Too far ahead of Simmons. Slight miscue, but it wasn't perilous. Only a Liverpool throw. Mackley now trying to get the better of it on that far side. Tasker also muscling in. So 12 minutes to go. Those Seagulls players also being encouraged by the fans on the far side. Starting to hear them a little bit more. They're also starting to believe a touch. Morrison helps that one on towards Kone Doherty.
Lock him in! Lock him in!
And hear the cry of Page of block them in for the throw-in. Another substitution from the Seagulls there was Sean Keogh coming on for these last 11 minutes plus added on time. Just a correction earlier as well. It wasn't Kone Doherty that was booked. It was Josh Davidson who was booked on the challenge of Middleton. Simmons overturns possession really well there and trying to latch onto it again. That's a handball. And there's going to be a yellow card here, I think, for Laffy. So the booking's starting to add up for the visitors. Laffy, the latest to go in Lewis Sando's book. The Seagulls won't mind that. Levelling up the head count as well, perhaps, later on. As we approach 10 minutes to go. Still that 6th minute penalty, the difference. Tasker, right intention to try and look in field there, but gives it up. Lucas Pitt, infield to Pennington. Morrison. Tyler Silsby leading the charge in the press. Belmont also trying to get stuck in on that far side. Tasker, good strength from him. Jensen, switch of play to this near side. Mackley does well to, Keogh does well to cushion that and then get on his way down this near side. thunderous challenge coming in there from Pennington. I think he may have got there first, but he also may have injured himself in the process. Rob Page just checking on how he's doing. They were both fully committed to that work, Keogh and Pennington. Well, he cleans him up there, does Pennington, but he does get to the ball first. Question marks over how dangerous it was. Keogh, good half volley over to Tasker. Trying to get the run on Davidson. Belmont trying to win it back from Adekoya. Puts on enough pressure for Adekoya to concede the throw-in. This is Mackley. Now Atom, aware of the impending pressure of Will Wright, and gets the ball away to Keogh just in the nick of time, and Pexy can come and claim. But the right idea from Keogh just to swing that one in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Belmont and Silsby not close enough to it this time. We still have 8 minutes of the 90 as the 10-man Seagulls go in search of an equaliser. Normal service resumed again for a moment as Kyle Kelly just goads on the Seagulls attackers. Middleton slightly pensive, doesn't want to overcommit. Silsby being urged on to continue the press and try and do the extra work. Does mean there's space on this near side for Pitt. Gets it back from Morrison. Now looks for the cut across, and Jensen with the save on his feet. Well, that certainly keeps the Seagulls in it. That was going goalward, but for Jensen's intervention. Strong right foot. Good effort there from Laffey to direct it towards the right corner. And a huge save from Jensen. Good work there from Simmons just to fend off his man, and then goes back into Jensen. Belmont plays it back to Tasker, looking for the run on that far channel for Mackley. Helping out there is Belmont again, sprinting forward there to try and make the run into the channel. Taking it quickly, Tasker was trying to prod it back to Mackley there. Gained a few yards on that far side. Middleton does well to fend off more challenges from the Reds. Not on that occasion though. And it allows the opportunity for Liverpool to clear. And backpedaling now is Noel Atom. The aggressor there is Will Wright. Inventive ball that from Jensen up towards Simmons, and does well to get away from Laffey. Well, it's been a spirited effort in this second half, no matter what happens for the Seagulls. Just a couple of really bad moments in that first half, the difference. But far from thrown in the towel of Shannon Ruth's side, and they can take great pride in this second half performance. Middleton. Over now to Keogh. First time clearance from Atom into an area, and it's latched onto eventually by Belmont. And now Tasker. Things opening up nicely for Tasker here on the edge of the area, just trying to get the extra yard of space. It will come back now though for Middleton. NT trying to keep the momentum of this attack. Simmons towards Keogh. Will it bounce for a Brighton player? Belmont trying to get onto the bouncing ball. Then NT. Can they find a finish at the end of this move? This is Mackley. Atom now plays it out to Silsby. Good first touch in field. And the ball looking in towards Belmont, flicked on, but there's nobody in blue and white beyond him. Great intensity and tempo about that phase of play, though, from the Seagulls. And there is time for one or two more moments like that. Can they make one of them count? Just under 4 minutes of the 90 to go. This is Adekoya. Returned to him by Kelly. Now Pinnington. He gets it back from the substitute Pitt. Happy just to play it from left to right and wind down the clock.
Come on, Kyle. Kyle, come on. You got plenty of time, Kyle.
Sprayed out to this near side. Morrison goes first time to look for Laffy. Atom stayed, switched on. Another Liverpool corner.
Kieran, 2 minutes. Keep it there. Short. Kyle, go and get in the corner. Go and get in the corner. Wait. Lucas, you come round here. Look at Lucas as well. Look at Lucas as well.
Just looking to go short from the corner, eat up more seconds. Now just a little bit over 2 minutes of the 90 remain. And Liverpool's intentions are clear, even with the superior head count. They are happy just to wind down the clock now. Probably the sensible move. There's no need to rush and overcommit things.
Lucas! Stay there, Lucas!
Towards the back post. Well, they just never really looked like they were sure about what they wanted to do with the ball there, Liverpool. Thinking about another quick, short corner. Felt as though they'd ticked down the clock enough just to swing that one in hope rather than expectation, which means that the Seagulls do have time for at least one more big chance. Jensen up to Simmons, looking in the central channel. Nothing immediately on, so Jensen can pick out the ball ahead of him to Atom, who can drive on. Gets away from right, and that's a fairly clear-cut yellow card. He's happy with that, is right at this stage of the game. Mackley over to Tasker. Oh, that's a good ball in towards Middleton. It came via a deflection, so just had to have a stutter in his run there, and it did put him off slightly, so Liverpool fire it clear as far away as Simmons. Underneath it, Belmont leaps for that one. Now Keogh can take over, trying to bring the ball down as he surges forward. Goes out for a Brighton throw-in. Into the last minute of the 90. Seconds remain now. NT. Mackley, into added time we go. Still, the 10 men of Seagulls look a threat as they try to find parity right at the end of this PL2 encounter. It's been a spirited display in this second half, full of character. Can they cap it off with an equaliser? Tasker looking in field. Middleton now back to Simmons. They are finding the gaps. That's a good twist away from Middleton. In it goes towards Silsby. Just checks his run, does well just to hold off a couple of Liverpool players. Now out to Keogh. Can he find a delivery into the area? Well, they'll get an opportunity to do it from the free kick instead. And will Morrison rue that intervention against Keogh, because it means that Silsby can size this one up and take his time to try and provide the quality with the delivery. Well, they've got to throw absolutely everybody up there for this one. Well, he's had plenty of time, Silsby, to take stock of what he wants to do with this one. Simmons is up, so too is Atom. What can they produce? Low ball in, doesn't get past the first man. So Silsby scurries over to try and take the throw in quickly. NT's down the line, so too is Keogh an option. Oh, and that's a nice hurdle away there from Morrison. Now Keogh can take over. NT, good hold-up play from Shane NT. Through the legs there of the substitute. Keogh across! Off the crossbar and following up is Simmons. Oh, was that the moment? Simmons maybe wasn't expecting him to fall to him the way that it did. It's just come off the underside of the crossbar. And he just wants to apply any kind of finish goalward there. Freddie Simmons. Massive chance for the Seagulls to level things up. And now Liverpool really will start to believe that they've done enough for the 3 points here. Or is there enough time? Still. NT. Over to Mackley. It's getting to the stage now where it's got to go forward for Shannon Ruth's side. NT obliges straight to a Liverpool man. Oh, and a chance here which is taken too quickly. It's an uncomfortable save for Jensen. So we've had over half of the 5 minutes added on. Belmont sliding in. Great commitment there from the substitute. Now Tasker. Striding out, looking for the run of Mackley, who's just got a too heavy a touch there. And Liverpool can eat up a few more seconds of this added on time. Well, to his credit, Pexy in the Liverpool goal, hasn't been too much gamesmanship and any hint of time wasting really. Would have been easier to take a hell of a lot longer on his goal kicks in the last few moments. That means that NT can send it away to Tasker on that far side, drops the shoulder and then delivers towards the back post. Pinnington away as far away as Keogh, nods it back into the danger zone. Middleton is there, so too is NT. And the decision goes against the Albion. And it might just be now that the Seagulls come up ever so slightly short. Couldn't really have asked any more of them in this second half, can Shannon Ruth. And happy to let play go on for a moment there as Middleton is just dragged away. And the time is up for the Seagulls. Well, plenty of character on show from Shannon Ruth's side in that second half, but the damage was done in the first half. The only goal coming 6 minutes in from the penalty spot. Certainly a clear-cut decision with Harry Mills going in on Josh Davidson, and matters were made even worse and trickier for the Albion with Yusuf Owusu being given his marching orders midway through the first half. As I say, great display in the second half, but it finishes here. Albion 0, Liverpool 1.